Remember, there are no rules in cooking. Taste this. Hi, welcome to Taste This TV. I'm Chef Joe Ciminera. You know, when you want California coastal grill, but you can't get to California to taste it, try Zimzari, located in Massapequa, New York, and other locations opening up. We're going to check inside, taste some food, and figure out why the Latin grill is so good to the palate. Taste this. So we're here at Zimzari with General Manager Chris Ruggiero. Chris, thanks for having me here.
Pleasure to have you.
I mean, you know, talk about the place from the unique decor, kind of West Coast feel, all the way down to the Latin grill cuisine that we have here.
Well, we call it a California coastal grill. What that is could be a wide variety of things. We pride ourselves on freshness. Every day we get fresh produce every single day of the week. It's a chicken fajita. We use red bell and green bell peppers. Obviously,
Voila.
chicken. And then on the side we have 4 tortillas you roll up yourself.
Right.
And on the side we have shredded lettuce, sour cream, pico de gallo, and shredded cheese.
Well, here's the taste test right here. Excellent marinade.
Good.
Chris, thanks for having me here. It was an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure, anytime.
Food was great. Check it out. Where's the location?
It's Massapequa Park, New York, 4964 Merrick Road.
Thank you. Well, we're not finished yet because we're going to head back over to the test kitchen and whip up some more great recipes. So don't go anywhere. Taste this. So we got an excellent show coming up for you here today. We're using a lot of great products, and I want to just go over them before we start cooking. Let's walk over here to our beef now. We got our beef coming right from Dakota Beef, all natural, grass-fed the way nature intended it. They're not feeding all this junk and, you know, just having these cows just eat anything that they can see. All organic. It's really what you want to put in your body. Now, Uncle Matt's Organic. Now, this is their apple juice. I mean, you know it's good fresh apple juice when the sediments kind of get to the bottom there. That's real apples. You know what I mean? That's what I like about this quality company here, is that they're putting juice that's organic, that's exactly the way it was off the tree and into the bottle. Now, talking about another incredible flavor that we have here, this is extra virgin olive oil. This is Georgia Olive Farms. Really distinct olive oil flavor, really incredible. The quality of the olive oil is so good, it goes right up to the nose. You know, you kind of taste that olive sensation right through the nostrils there. It's really good because good quality first cold-pressed olive oil will do that. It'll have that reaction. That's how you can tell when it's really good. Now, we're using Pacific Coast wasabi. Now, this is a wasabi root. Many of you know wasabi powder. We're going to be using the wasabi root in different applications today with the steak. Now, we have here our garlic gourmet. Today we're going to be using their honey lime rub. And this is really going to go great with the spices that we're going to be putting on our beef. It really adds good flavor. It'll add some nice texture to it as well, and the aroma will be really good. Now, Viva Tierra Organic is an incredible farm, and they have apples, they have pears, but I mean really good quality fruit. You know, you bite into this pear, it's going to be incredible. As you can see, we did some stuff with this pear we'll talk about later. Check them out. And we also have this dry rub, which is really good, that we're going to be working with, called Mambo Grill Rub. And this is from Galena Garlic. They make some really good stuff in pouches. We can't forget our Emma Roth. This is their buttermilk blue. You have not tried blue cheese until you've tried this. Incredible. We're going to be melting it over our steak. If you've probably seen in prior shows that I do. We got this peanut butter that we're going to be working with our smoothie. And this is better than peanut butter. And they make some really good quality stuff, some flavored peanut butter as well. Check them out. We can't forget about Crespo olives that we're going to be using. And Chosen Foods has this Nepal cactus, which is really good when making smoothies. It's a fiber-based, definitely daily recommended, needed it. And we have some fold pasta here. Today we're going to be using one of their cuts of pasta to make with our dish. So we can't forget that the apparel sponsored by the show is H&M Clothing and Chef Revival. So to get started, I think we've covered everything else. And, of course, to finish the show with a couple of things, we have Antonio Mozzarella, which we're going to be doing an incredible mozzarella platter. They make everything from ciliegini to pellinis to regular mozzarella ricotta and even flavored rolls as well. So pairing that with, of course, our wine, which is Detour Wines, and today we're going to be using one of their reds in this product. All right, so now we're going to get started on some great recipes here. A little bit of steak, a little bit of pears with our mozzarella in the back. But first what we're going to do is start off with a smoothie. Now, I've gotten a lot of requests from people saying, what's a good healthy smoothie? And I wanted to just show you one quickly that I use probably about twice a week. So here's some blueberries, great antioxidant, right? Food for the brain. Now we got some coconut milk in here. Now I'm not a big fan of coconut milk at all, unless it goes into like a smoothie type of thing. So take a little bit of coconut milk, put it in there. Take your peanut butter, regular peanut butter here. You want to do about 2 tablespoons, right? Nicey nice. We got our peanut butter. Now, we have something called Nepal cactus here, right? This is a natural fiber. It could be good for some people. We're going to throw some in there. Next, we have some bananas. Bananas are a must. Fresh fruit, fresh juice. This is fresh squeezed orange juice, right? Right in there. This is a smoothie, okay? A lot of people are getting into the smoothie craze, right? So we're going to take this back here. All right, now, here we got it. Now, when I talked about get a really, high quality blender going, it's because you don't want chunks of blueberry or banana in your mouth. I mean, when you're drinking this stuff, you don't want to drink like a chunky fruit type of smoothie. This is good enough for me. This can go down the hatch. There you have it. So, and it's the right amount of thickness to a smoothie is important too. You don't want to be drinking like something that's cement and you can't get it down. This you could easily grab with a straw. And the smell of it's really good too, because that coconut milk and the peanut butter really are going to take it to the next level. Let's put this aside right now. So there you have it, the smoothie to kind of start your cooking off. I want to come over here to some steak here. I got some incredible dry-aged ribeye that is going to be really, really, really good. And we're going to be marrying it today with a little bit of blue cheese. Now, if you've watched prior shows, you know I love blue cheese and steak because there's really nothing better. And I go to great lengths to try to find really good blue cheese. I'm not talking about that blue cheese you go buy in the supermarket that you can't tell what it is. It's sort of like gray, mush, and it's really hard to make out. If you didn't read the label that said blue cheese, you probably wouldn't know it's blue. This is blue cheese. This is buttermilk blue. This is made with buttermilk. So now you can see the incredible rippling molds in here. Really incredible. And this is going to go on our steak. Now, what's even more important is the rub that we put on, right? So normally we would make one steak, but since we have a crew here, a healthy crew of people that love to eat, we're going to make 2. Now, what I like to do is put the rub completely on one side, and I got a mixture of a lot of things in here. That cough there was just a little bit of the chili powder that I had in here. So I have chili powder, black pepper, rock salt. We have rock salt in here. We also have garlic salt, which is good, right? But you can't get enough of the salt because I'm going to take some more salt. If you want a good crust on the outside of meat, you want flavorful, don't be scared to throw the salt on there. And what I'm going to do is really massage the meat. I'm not just doing one side. I want to do all sides, even sides over here. So make sure you have your rub, give it a generous, turn it around. There's no such thing on Taste This TV as flavoring one side of beef. All right, there's no such thing as maybe putting a little salt and pepper on each side. We want everything. All right, so I to my liking, let's put a little bit more. I like to cover everything. I'm looking good. So you see this. Now, I like to cook my steak not on a grill, but a griddle, flat top, which I have behind me there. And I like to douse it in some olive oil. And what I'm going to do is take some olive oil here. Now, this is extra virgin olive oil. It's got a low cooking point, but I'm not really frying in it, so I'm just kind of like searing in it. So let's take the tongs that we have here, and we're going to put the 2 steaks right down. You hear that? Okay, and we're going to take our other one down too. Look at that. I mean, that is a serious cut of beef. Got a little crushed red pepper on that too. Next, we have wasabi root. Pretty interesting stuff, right? It's made from the root. I got my own little creation that I like to do with this thing, and I'll show you now. What I'm going to do is take the wasabi root, and you need to peel it. Now, you could use a peeler, that's fine, or you could take a knife and kind of just go around it. All right, now, so you have this might be a little difficult to find this stuff, so take a look around, but I'm telling you, you're gonna be amazed. So you got your wasabi root, and you got a microplane here, right? Yeah, this is good stuff. And I'm going to put in my own little thing here to show you, starting with a little bit of salt. And, okay, now, this mustard here, right, is my own mustard. Mustard seed in the brine, pureed it. We have some garlic powder, and we're going to put it in there. Got some herbs in there too, some fresh parsley. Let me tell you something. This is amazing right here, but you got to like the heat. I mean, it's so strong, it's like going up through my eyes. So you get it, leave it to the side. It is strong stuff. We got this cheese going on here, this blue cheese. We're going to break it up a bit into crumbles. And what we're going to do is take our cheese and put it right over the top of the steak. So the cheese will start to melt up, and the steam that it's creating is going to melt the cheese, but it's not going to melt it in a way that it's just going to drip down and make it a mess. All right, so we got enough of good. I mean, listen, you don't want to put too much blue cheese. You're not going to be able to taste the steak. So we're going to get cleaned up. Our steak has got a couple of minutes to go. We're going to talk about our pear dish that we're going to be working with. We can't forget our pasta dish. We're going to make a sauce that is going to remind you of the old country, so don't go anywhere. Taste this. All right, so now while our steak is cooking, and I've really lowered it to the point where it's on low, not even really giving it anything because I want to cook the steak really, really nice and slow. We're going to get to a pasta dish that I'm going to be working with. And it really could consist of some really good quality olives, and believe it or not, a little bit of apple juice. And this apple juice is going to go great with this dish of tomatoes and onions and fresh thyme and leeks and stuff like that over this pasta. Now, cook the pasta ahead of time. And what do we always say on Taste This TV? You never rinse your pasta after you're cooking it, right? Leave it hot and put a little bit of olive oil in there so it retains the starch and the flavor. So we have a hot pan here. And what we're going to do is take our leeks, and we're going to slice our leek in half. But you have to rinse the leek under cold water because at times you can get sand within the stalk. So what we're going to do is feather the leek like this, open it up, and run it under cold water. Okay? Next, what we're going to do is cut the leeks. And they take a bit longer to cook than the onions. So we're going to take some olive oil. Definitely want a lot of olive oil here. So we're going to put a good amount. I mean, like a half a cup or something like that. We're going to throw our leeks in there. Now, just as we throw the leeks, right, we want the flavor of this fresh thyme that we're going to be using. And what you're going to do with the thyme, you could very patiently just sit there and dice it up. You may get some stems, or you could just pull it off. I like to do that method better because you're pulling the leaves off of the stem is a lot better than having like pieces of thyme branches in your cooking. So we got our leeks in there, right? Saute that up a little bit. We want golden brown. Next, we're going to take our onion. All right, so we're just going to put straight onions in there like that. Mold them around too. Turn up the heat a little bit. We'll season it with a little bit of pepper right now, not salt. Okay? And we'll talk about what's going to go in here. We have some chopped tomato puree, and I have some fresh tomatoes too. I always like to put a little fresh in there too. It really gives like that garden kind of flavor. We're just going to take this, chop it up. Remember, there are no rules in cooking. Next, we're going to add our tomatoes. And we're going to start taking our olives, put them in whole. Now, I have some other olives here too, these Spanish olives, which are stuffed with blue cheese. And I thought it'd be a great combination with this. So we're going to throw a couple of those in there as well. And then what I'm going to do is take a couple of olives, and I'm going to take a little bit of capers that I have here, and I'll make a little bit of a paste. That's where I put the salt. So that'll help in my paste. You could do this with garlic too. You have garlic, cloves, whole garlic, you put it down there. And just with your knife, you're going to press down. Get these twigs out of here. If you need to give it a little bit of a cut, dice, you're fine. And take your knife Spread it down. The salt acts as like an abrasive. Okay, throw that in there. Now we're going to add the apple juice. Now we throw a couple of teaspoons of this tomato sauce. Don't go crazy. You know, you don't want to saturate this in tomato sauce. Eye level, you got to know what flavors to marry. I'm thinking like maybe 4 of these babies will bring it to life. Now, what I'm going to do is put a little olive oil on this. I mean, even though I put some olive oil, I want to show you. You can see some of the olive oil still in there. This dish is good with a lot of olive oil. Put a little bit more olive oil on top. All right, so now our oil is in there. The pasta is still hot. We're going to take some cheese, your favorite grating cheese, and we're going to grate cheese right into the pasta. We're not going into the sauce. We have hot pasta here, and it's going to melt nicely in there. I think that's about it. And we're going to fold the pasta. Add a little bit of the sauce in here. Because a lot of times I don't like to just slap over a sauce unless I've seasoned a little bit of the pasta first. Now you see the hot sauce in here, combination with the pasta. This is really an incredible dish. And you could use as much cheese as you want. If you're not a cheese fan or you want to leave cheese out, that's fine. It goes good either way. And then you put the rest over the top. That, my friends, is pasta. Now you'll find this dish with a lot of influence in Sicily. They love to cook with olives. They love to cook with onions and capers and stuff like that. So here's our first finished dish, our pasta. And if you feel like you need a little bit more olive oil on that baby, go ahead and go to town. We're going to check on our steak. And we're going to remove our steak and talk about our pears. So don't go anywhere. Taste this. All right, so now our steak is ready. Now, you talk about things that go really good with steak. Blue cheese. Also, black olive spread or black olive tapenade goes really, really, really good with the steak. Now, we talked about this wasabi root that we made. Really, really strong stuff. We're going to put that right here. And you can kind of steal from Peter, give to Paul, whatever you'd like to do. And we're going to take our first steak. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's a steak. Now I have to show you how to eat this thing, okay? Maybe cut the first piece of fat away. But you can see it's a perfect mid-rare. Now, what you're going to do is grab a little bit of the blue cheese on the steak. Wow. That was incredible. Now, don't hesitate to grab a little bit of this wasabi root here, which is really going to add to the flavor of this dish. So now I've taken these organic pears, and what I've basically done is I've taken a peeler, but right now I'm just going to show you with a knife, and just kind of peeled from here to about right there. And I've peeled the pear, and you can see it. I'm just going to take it out for you. I do that for the look, because I like to see how much the pear flesh is saturated with the wine. So by leaving a little bit of the skin, I think it's a cool look too. But it also tells me that when I cut this, I'm going to know that the wine is bled into the pear. So now we have this pear, like I said, you could peel it with a knife or a potato peeler. And then at this point, you're going to cut off the end so that it can stand up in the pan. So you're going to have about 3, however many you're poaching it. Just make sure you get the skin completely off, because then it won't penetrate the flesh here. So what we're going to do is take this tray out of fresh cheese. We have some fresh mozzarella. We have some fresh mozzarella rolled in some incredible pepperoni. And this is our cheese plate that we're going to be working with today. So we have to finish this up, which is to take crack black pepper and go over the mozzarella, and a little bit of salt. You do not salt the mozzarella until right before you're ready to serve it. And a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin. Now you could take it a step further and buy some 50-year-old balsamic vinegar reduction, which I love, and put that over there. It'll really be a fun treat for you. Now, something that you really don't find in the store is called perlini. You've heard of ciliegini, which is the step up smaller, and the bocconcini, which is even bigger than that, and then you have the 1-pound mozzarella balls. These are perlinis, and they're really good, and I like them, and the kids love them too. So we're going to season our perlinis, and we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. We're going to do some Himalayan salt, which is a different kind of salt, different flavor. And it's also got a little bit of garlic in there, roasted garlic. And we're going to put some crushed, cracked black pepper. Now we have some olive oil here, which is really going to add to the dish. Turn this around. And we're going to put this right back into the... Good. So now we've just seasoned this. And you could season the mozzarella, before it goes out. You could season it ahead of time. The problem is with seasoning mozzarella ahead of time is depending on what you season, it can actually harden the mozzarella. Now we take this ricotta. Now I've already seasoned this before I put it in with honey. I like the honey to sit in the ricotta. Now we're going to take a step further. We're going to pour our ricotta back in here. And we're going to take some of this liquid because we don't waste anything. We're going to take this incredible liquid that we have. Just put a little bit over there. We don't want to saturate it. And we're going to mix it. And already, the flavor of the wine is incredible with this. Okay, we're going to put this right back in here. And if you haven't tried each of these cheeses with poached pears, you're at a huge disadvantage. So this is a great cheese dish. Of course, for more than one person, obviously. And we're going to put that there. Next, we're going to take our pear. Now we're going to cut down our pear. Very carefully. And you can see the amount of liquid that penetrates. And then you're going to core the pit out. Be very careful because your pear is very fragile at this point. I feel like Ralph Cramden, the Corey apple. All right, now take this very, very carefully. So I think a lot of this is presentation. So try to leave everything intact. I'm not going to do this one here. All right, maybe I'll do it. But I even like to leave the stem on because I think it's pretty cool. And next what you're going to do with your knife is cut down the pear. And fan it, just like that. Right? Then you're going to take your pear with a knife, because like I said, the stuff is, and you're just going to leave it over there, like that. Fan it out. Now, the pear is the same consistency as the mozzarella. It's nice and creamy. It's not a hard texture. It's soft. Everything goes together with the plate. And that's how I think that you're going to really enjoy these poached pears with this mozzarella dish. That's going to do it for today. We've had enough. But until next time, thank you for watching this fun-filled episode of Taste This TV. I'm your host, Chef Joe Ciminera. Remember, there are no rules in cooking. Taste this.